on blue side.
Well, there we go. Analysts have spoken. Let's hand it over to our casters for this final. It is BP and Orcs.
Thank you very much, Scoundrel, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 1 of the EU Masters Finals for 2019 summer. I'm BP, I'm joined by Ox, the return of Box.
Yeah.
I like that name.
Me too, I think it's a good one.
I think it's a nice one. So looking at the two compositions right here, we're obviously seeing the teams coming in. First game, you know, you're a bit tentative. We're not seeing anything super crazy, except for that Vayne.
Yeah, the Vayne's a confident one. I was literally looking at the draft saying, Deadly is going to pick the Varus here, really good with the Braum, that's what I expected, but they want something that he can be the carry on, and there are a lot of tools on the side of Big that could deal with it, but they have to be able to shut him down early, and as they alluded to on the desk, that could be an issue.
And for Big, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, of course, and this is their championship to win. It's very much set up for them. Most of our analysts and most people on Twitter as well are, you know, kind of pegging them as the, you know, hot favorites. But for Giants, everyone's kind of put them down. Everyone's put the Spanish region down, and every single time they've just come back stronger.
Yeah, and I mean, they did have a rough showing in the last EU Masters, and a lot of people had low expectations for them throughout the tournament, but Giants look really good up to now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are onto the riff for Game 1 of this best of 5. As Giants and Big look to try and claim the title of European Masters. Giants looking to secure Spain its third title in 4 championships. Big looking to be the first for the DACH region to lay hands on that title.
And the DACH region has consistently improved throughout the EU Masters. In the last one, they were so close. They got to that finals, and Big as well have consistently looked better and better. In the last showing, they were the only team to take a game of Misfits Premier, the overall winners, in the knockout stage. So for them to win it here, it's the expected storyline, but Giants definitely in a position to make what most would see as an upset.
And for Big, it's kind of history repeating itself as such for EU Masters. We've seen Misfits Premier last split doing the exact same run, going through play-ins, going through groups, going all the way to finals. And now they need to just get the last piece of the puzzle to really just kind of like cement it.
And it's been the planes buff. It's been the ability to have 3 weeks in a tournament playing against the best teams outside the LEC in Europe and adjusting your playstyle to adapt to the meta that's being displayed in Big. Very much a team who have changed how they play over the tournament.
Could be a pretty standard start, I feel, from both sides. Neither want to make a mistake. And this is what we expect from these two teams. You're in the final, it's Game 1. You don't want to go too ham, too crazy at the start of the game, especially you don't want to throw it away.
Got to be a lot of nerves on the line. It means a lot to these players. Melitza said in an interview before this finals that if he underperforms here, Zazzy will be the one who teams will look for to go towards the LEC. There's so much on the line in this finals.
And that's the thing for this as well, is that this is kind of an open audition, if you will. There's a lot of LEC teams looking at this. 7 out of the 10 players that went to the finals of EU Masters Spring went to LEC teams in summer. That's how important it can be for these players.
Absolutely the case. And I feel like we're in a position where Deadly has set himself up for that success. On the Vayne, he is going to be the late game win condition for Giants. He is going to be the one who has to outplay so many critical ults from the side of Big. He's the one to watch here. But in the early phases, I will be looking towards Giants' tried and tested duo, which is that mid-jungle. They have the Elise and the Kiana. This is sort of textbook for Razork and Melitza.
We've said this a couple of times as well, is that what an Elise does in the first kind of 6 levels depends on how much of advantage they can get. Because the Elise is so strong, you have available to 6 abilities effectively, along with some little minions when you go into your spider form. So it can just be, kind of a famine or feast depending on how you play the map. Cocoon lands, Q in with the Arctic Assault. Labrop's the first to roam though with Karzi, so I feel like Razork, being very respectful, has to flash away.
Yeah, good moves coming out from Big, because honestly, a level 3 Elise is in a good position to duel a Sejuani, but Labrok already making the move up. It's not only something that burns Razork's flash, but a good omen, because it's what the analyst test was talking about. They want to see Labrok able to move and assist Donart. The jungle support duo is very important in this match.
So Donart's going to see the Elise again. You can tell that the mid lane priority is just kind of the setup for these two teams. And First Blood goes over to the side of Giants. I feel like that was just a little bit of over-aggressiveness. Razor goes onto Zazzy. Zazzy traces it back. Melitza going to be able to keep going. There is a flash available for both these mid laners. Flash burned by Zazzy. Just about gets himself out.
Just with a slither of HP there, Zazzy manages to escape. Ends up being a 1-for-1. Kill goes down to Razor. From the other side, Zazzy's the one who gets the gold. but there is an advantage because Melitza, he's still got plenty of HP. He's able to shove the wave in and deny some farm over the side of Zazie. So overall, pretty even, but Giants having a slight little advantage there.
I wasn't even expecting the fact that, Donart would go so aggressive and it would be turned on him so damn quickly, but like you said, the power of this, Qiyana and Elise able to kind of come up with that burst damage when you need it.
I mean, both of them have executes in their kit at early levels. The level 3s are so powerful, and we'll get a replay, and it shows how strong this combo is, that even without the cocoon missing,
full
he's
HP.
still able to find it, yeah. And it's just the burst between them. You can see even someone who feels as tanky as a Sejuani ends up going down quickly, and now White Knight forced to flash on the top side. Looks like they won't chase as Zazie has priority in the mid lane. And White Knight just able to get away, and critically, the Antonio traded flashes there.
This is kind of, textbook Giants, I suppose, being the early aggressors, having Razor move around the lanes, him being the influencer throughout the rest of his team. Big need to find an answer to it. So far, they're not doing terribly, of course, but having to get their, your cannon pushed out, you have to burn the TP and the flash, makes you a little bit bigger of a target on your back.
I mean, the big answer for me is always going to be Labrov. When he has priority in the bot lane, which you are seeing now, I look for him to move around the map and influence things, help out Donart. It's an Infernal Dragon, which is the first in the game, so yes, Razor's doing great in the mid lane and the top side, but the focal point needs to be the bottom of this map, and already you're seeing Donart and Labrov moving to get control of this bot side. I'm actually looking for a play here. This is 2 members of Giants against 3 of Big.
I've got vision on Razork. They jump in, they flash over the wall, they get the stun down. Razork is dead to Zazie, and he gets himself his second kill of the game. As we see Melitza caught between a rock and a hard place, tries to shove everyone back, gets knocked up, stunned down underneath turret, forced to flash away himself. But overall, Big, like you just said, finding Labrov some space and making the play.
And they do simple maths. 3 members of a team will beat 2 members. Razork and Melitza are very strong at this level 3 point, but if you bring the Nautilus as well, you will find the advantage, you will come out ahead. And now Zazie looking great already, 2-0-0 on the Yasuo. Things are starting to look a little bit worrisome around the mid lane for Giants.
Big confirmed, able to do quick maths, make the play. But overall, not the end of the world, of course, coming into this little bit of a mid-game. Qiyana still has that massively impacting ultimate, can set up around those dragon fights. And honestly, looking at the way, looking at the way Big have set themselves up, they are looking for those 5v5 team fights. They're looking to get the flank on with the cannon and just try and just shred through everybody.
I mean, you say shred through everybody. I feel like it's just a look for deadly composition. You have great team fighting ultimates in the likes of the Engage coming in.
They're gonna jump in. Zazie has to go and dash his way out of this. Has got himself a Steel Tempest to try and knock up the Scion. Has been slowed though by the Slayer's Roar. Will get knocked up, will be taken down, and it's gonna be Razor picking up that kill.
Critically getting the shutdown as well. Good moves, and this is typical from the Antonio. He plays the Scion, he will sacrifice farm topside because he doesn't need it, he's playing a tank, and instead he uses that time to roam towards other areas of the map and help them out. We said it was looking concerning, this 2-0 Zazie. Good moves from the Giants top laner to shut him down.
Level 6 is being hit across the board. You can see that both teams trying to use it. Infernal Drake is going to be the first one of this game. Neither side putting a massive emphasis on that at the moment. You can see for the side of Big, they're not too unhappy just being able to kind of, push out these waves, keep themselves, kind of topped up as such, because they know that they have got that kind of see deadly, kill deadly composition, like you said.
Absolutely do, and I want to see them make a move around the bot side. Look to secure that early Infernal Dragon, because Deadly needs items to really be massively relevant. As long as you avoid getting comboed by Melitza with that ultimate, you should have a solid early skirmish there.
For Giants, obviously the easy kind of conversation is always that D'Antonio doesn't care what the meta is. He will play tanks and look good on said tanks. But I feel like the early game aggression that came out from Razork for the majority of the tournament has been kind of one of the linchpins as to why Giants have able to make that kind of heavy skirmish, get us ahead compositions they always build work so well.
Yeah, and it's pivotally around mid. It's Melitza, the one who they set up, and he's been a stand-up performer in this tournament. One of the stats before the semi-finals was that he was on average 1,500 gold ahead at 15 minutes. And it's not just down to him. Like, don't get me wrong, Melitza is a phenomenal player, but it's the setup that comes from the team. Razork will put attention there, and often we even see the bot lane roam up to help, but we saw D'Antonio ult down to shut down Zazie. The focal point of the map for Giants is this mid lane, especially in the early phases. And Razork, he tends to set up a tent there.
Speaking of tense, Darnart's just pushing himself into that mid lane, giving Zazie some priority and some control, pushing out that wave. No TPs on either mid laners, so we're only realistically going to have a split push coming in from the top side, but the Antonio and White Knight had to burn theirs to get themselves back into lane. Dragon going to be started up. Vision very much in favor of the side of Big. However, Razork, he knows something's going down.
Yeah, and the Antonio's actually ulted down to contest this.
Labrov.
Be big.
Labrov gets caught out here. Labrov want to be chunked down. He will be as Deadly picks that one up, and Giants say, thank you very much for the leash. We'll take the Infernal as well.
And it's something they don't respect. Neither top laner has TP, so they feel like it's going to be a 4v4, but the Antonio, he makes the early move. He ults down to get that first, and Labrov just ends up being caught out. First Infernal of the game going over the side of Giants. A massive thing that's going to come in huge later in the game.
I suppose we didn't really talk about the Sion ultimate, but it kind of is like a pseudo semi-global, is that you gets you to that fight. If you know that your opposition top laner does not have TP, it will get you there far faster than your opponent.
And this is something the Antonio frequently does on this champion. Obviously, he's been very much sticking to things like the Cho'Gath, like the Sion, so he's very accustomed to how to play them, and he will often go to bot lane with his bot lane and then ult in to provide an extra numbers advantage. And we'll see a little look at that play, and obviously Big feeling like they have confidence to take this 4v4, but it's Antonio coming in who changes things, and they just end up leaving Labrov for dead, and that means the Dragon will go down as well. First Infernal, definitely a massive objective.
Felt like a little bit of a miscommunication there. Labrov looked like he was trying to go help Donarts a little bit, and then Donarts was like, I'm out of here.
I'm good.
Yeah, get himself out there, like just over the wall. But again, small kill lead, a Infernal lead coming into this as well, and the slightest of gold leads for Giants in this early game.
And critically, the one who got the kill was Deadly, so that extra gold in his pocket, never going to be a miss. Vayne, a massive late game powerhouse, and also solid duelist, which is really powerful into the Kai'Sa matchup. As often you see situations later in the game where Kai'Sa can just ult onto the enemy AD carry and soul them out. This isn't the case with the Vayne. She will duel you, even if she's behind in gold, she can still go toe-to-toe with a Kai'Sa.
Teleport is available for White Knight should he want to try and contest this Rift Herald. There is a ward for Big on the back of that pit. They know it is being done. Right now, Giants just trying to up the tempo, keep themselves up, ahead of the play. But Donarts and Zazie has a different idea as they start to roll themselves around. They have got wards though on the side of Giants. They're looking to try and find Zazie. Puts up the wind wall, trying to just dance his way through this one here. And he gets the ultimate down, but Zazie does go down. It's Deadly who picks up another kill, but here comes White Knight with a slicing Maelstrom on the backside. Then it goes Golden. They're trying to get on the Karzi. It's going to be Giants though, picking up 2 kills off this play. They're looking to just take everything down in the unstoppable force. That is the Sion coming in. It's 3 quick kills, and the Rift Herald for the spoils of Giants.
And Giants show their team fighting prowess. It was a 4v5, and they still managed to come out ahead. I've got to praise Deadly so much. He did so much work. When he got ulted by the Nautilus, he used his invisibility to kite away, and there was no way to follow up in the end. We saw White Knight's ult being focused mostly onto Denik, who just stopwatched it. It should have been Big's fight. They have 5 members, they have the tools. We'll get a replay here, and I just think the thing to highlight is look at Deadly and the way he positions this fight. Because obviously the focus is going to be him. And you can see Zazie heads towards him. As soon as he shows Labrov is looking to use that ultimate, and he tumbles away, gets around the corner, there's no follow-up there. And you see on the other side, White Knight unable to follow up with his ultimate. And from then on, it's just clean-up time for the Vayne.
4v5 and you still come out with 3 kills is a fairly favorable trade in the favor of Giants. They get themselves another kill onto the Vayne, and they actually have the Rift Herald as well.
Yeah, so they get the objective they wanted, they get the fight they wanted, and more gold being given over to Deadly, who is going to be this massive force for Giants later on in the game. White Knight got to be a little bit careful here.
Has got Flash. Will have to use his Flash, and now he no longer has Flash.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting how that works, but Flash being a massive tool for the Kennen in these team fights. And I think one of the big factors is that we saw Giants win that team fight, and you look at Deadly, Melissa, and Razor, none of them even needed to use their Flashes to win that fight out, whereas Big burnt a ton of their summoners on the own and still fell behind. Do you see the Rift Herald thrown down top side? Giants looking to get some platings just before they fall. 30 seconds left, they should get this tower.
And this is kind of a smart rotation there, knowing that White Knight does not have the safety of his Flash, can't just instantly blink himself out of any danger should they choose to dive it, which is so easy with the Elise. First tower, all the plates going over to the Antonio. They're trying to get this tank Sion online.
Yeah, and the thing is, the tank Sion, we normally see the Antonio give up a lot of gold to facilitate his teammates, but if you give gold up the sign, he will be such a massive force to deal. He becomes super bulky. We saw this in the semi-finals when he was almost unkillable, and in response, they're going to try and look for a play, top side.
Think of the unkillable tank that is on the Antonio. Flashes, uses his ult, and
Cowards!
gets himself out of that with no issues whatsoever. Does lose a summoner, but again, you'd rather lose your summoner than lose your life. Again, more advantages being built up for Giants. They got themselves a 2,000 gold lead. An Infernal Drake, the next Drake going to be spawning as well very, very shortly. Giants looking to just kind of keep the pressure down, keep the tempo up.
And look at the vision priority from Giants. And it goes to what you said, keeping the tempo up. They've bought so many control wards, invested heavily, because they know the power of the vision to set up for an objective like this. They're actually just going to go and start up that mountain. There is that one ward from Kazi, so Big should be aware, but they've decided they are not going to contest this Mountain Dragon. Another massive one to secure for the later stages. In response, you see Donots and White Knight applying pressure to the top tower, but critically, plates are already down. They will only get the base gold for this.
They will get the base goals, and Giants looking to make a play of their own. Denick just zoning out. They flash in. Cocoon lands, but good little buffer there. They jump straight in with the Glacial Fissure. They're trying to get everything they can.
It's down.
Lavrov will go down, but they trade the Kiana. It's still a 1-for-1, and the top side in favor of Big is still pushing.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy, and because they went for those kills, they aren't actually able to do any damage to the tower. Big coming out ahead in this trade and should be able to chip a little bit away at this inner. Don't think they'll be able to get it because the recalls are starting to come in, but Giants making an uncharacteristic mistake there.
Well, a bit aggressive, a bit overzealous to try and go for it. You just had to zone them away, know that they couldn't defend the tower, take the tower, keep the objective. But again, Big, they'll be happy enough knowing that they got the tower, they get themselves some more map control, they can get themselves slightly back into this game.
Yeah, they need to, because it's a 1,500 gold lead for Giants. They also have that Mountain in the Infernal, some massively influential dragons. And the critical thing is Deadly on this Vayne. He has that Blade of the Rune King. He has a stopwatch as well, so if they come to a team fight, he has that tool to keep himself alive. And he is a player to watch from Giants. Melitza has had some amazing ults in the Kiana, but the carry that Giants need in the late game is this Vayne.
Picking the Vayne kind of puts a big old target on your back for everybody. As you can see now, Big trying to jump in. They will force the flash out of Deadly, as the Glacial Prison was very much on point, and that's a big summoner down.
And that was something I talked about earlier, was in that Herald fight, Giants didn't need to use their flashes, but in this last course of play, we've seen Razork, Melitza, and Deadly all burn theirs, and now, Big, you can see their flashes are starting to come off cooldown. Kazi's will tick over in a second, so will Don Arts. This is a good situation for Big to try and find a flank, try and find a fight, because they know these summoners are not available for Giants.
So to look at the items now as well as we come into this kind of mid-game part of the game. You can see the Abyssal Mask there for the Scion. You've got the Duskblade of Drakkar for the Kiana, the Bork, which you've obviously talked about as well for the Vayne. But on the other side, you have got the Phantom Dancer. The Manamune is stacking up to Amura Mana, and you've got the Protobell for the Kennen along that Hunting Guys. So you have penetration, you have ways of just shredding through this lineup. You just got to find the right fight if you're Big.
I think the big thing is that Big is still lacking burst. So if they do get on top of Deadly, especially with that stopwatch, they may struggle to kill him. It's when White Knight's got a bit more items behind him, and I mean the critical thing is Kazi. When he's got things like that Rage Blade, when he's able to stack up his passive and just actually trade effectively with Deadly, because I feel like right now, Deadly pops his ultimate, he will just beat you auto for auto.
Right now, the priority for both sides seems to be mid lane. Zazi gets the knock up, but not feeling super brave to go in on that. I feel like that was the correct choice.
Yeah, would be a bit ambitious. They did have members to back Zazi up, but the Braum being there can mitigate so much damage, and Big looking to get control around this mid lane area. We see Deadly and Denick go for a recall, and right now Giants are resetting on the map, so it means Big have an opportunity to get control. You can see Lavrov and Donald paired together, getting some vision. Zazi able to push up, and it means this middle section of the map is in Big's control, and it's a pivotal part which Giants always look to play around, because the middle of the map means you can just move your pressure around.
Summoners are starting to come back up now for the side of Big. They're the ones that are sitting on all their cooldowns, waiting for the opportunity to come into that. However, on the side of Giants, you're still waiting on a couple of flashes. You have got the teleports though, which is the most important.
And the big thing is a flash on White Knight now available. That Kennen flash critical in these team fights. If you can channel a full slicing Maelstrom on top of Deadly, you're almost certainly going to win that fight. Giants Now looking to group us up as 5. They use the side waves in their favor. You can see Carzzy on the bot side needed to answer that wave, and this allows Giants to group up as a full-man team and start to get control. You can see the next dragon is another Infernal. This is likely going to be a flashpoint for this game because I know Big will not want to give it up.
They can't really afford to give it up, in my opinion. They have to kind of go for it. You get that double Inferno, potential for a triple. At that stage, you're already so far behind in terms of the scaling. You need to try and fight it there and then. For the side of Giants, you can see right now, their full focus is on this dragon that's spawning in less than a minute.
And Giants have the vision advantage. And you can see there aren't any flank wards available for the side of Big. That's a critical thing because if Kennen can get onto the back line, he's going to be an absolute menace. But going front on, you have things like the Antonio, you have Denik, so much CC and zoning potential that they will struggle to get to Deadly. And now, it's like a fight could be starting around the middle lane. They're trying to get priority.
They're posturing, they go in, they blow up the Elise as quick as you like, but the Melitza on the backside gets the ultimate and kills out the Kaiser. Now it's a fight on 2 fronts because you see Deadly is being focused out by the side of Big. They're trying to take him down. They get the shutdown. Denik gets caught by the hook as well, and Giants are running away from this. They cannot fight anymore. The big tank of the Antonio will be the icing on the cake, and Big get the fight.
And Giants, they need Deadly to pop off. And in this situation, yes, they killed Carzzy, but there's still the Yasuo, there's still the Kennen, and they shut down Deadly. With that, they win the fight, and they get this Infernal Dragon. They can equalize those stats that they lost earlier in the game.
Equalizing the dragons, equalizing the gold. This mid-game just got blown wide open, and you can see it's just a fantastic catch here by Donards.
Yeah, they go for a great catch onto Razor. Obviously very squishy on this Elise, does buy some time, and then you see Melitza. Watch how he just one-shots Carzzy in this situation, and honestly, he was looking pretty bad for the side of Big, but then watch Zazzy on the top side. Gets the ult, you see the follow-up, and instantly everyone converges onto the Vayne. And as soon as the Vayne's down, that is the damage gone. Melitza doesn't have the cooldowns, and it's an easy cleanup for Big.
I feel like Giants just kind of tunnel-visioned a little bit there. We went from protect the Vayne composition, and everyone just kind of backed away and left Deadly alone. And as soon as we saw Zazzy saw that opportunity to go in, he was in like a light, and everyone converged on it.
Yeah, and it just set them up for such a strong team fight because Melitza, he has the burst, but without those cooldowns, without the ultimate, he is going to lose a bit of his power. But Deadly, he's the one with the sustained damage, and as soon as he went down, you could see the fight just did not look good for Giants. Now they are looking for a skirmish here.
Oh, Zazzy gets jumped in by Melitza. Melitza trying to get the damage down. Glacial Person does miss, though, as Melitza flashes away. TP has been used here by the side of Carzzy, but now everyone else is coming in. Lapov trying to come in here. There's a 4v4 overall. They do get the knock up there onto Zazzy. They're trying to get Denik down, but he's got the unbreakable.
Yeah.
They get the shutdown onto Zazzy, and Giants are hunting. Giants are pushing, but Giants are going to back themselves away. Baron is up.
Yeah, they managed to get one kill. It would be risky to go for the Baron. Donards is still alive.
They can go for it.
White Knight's TP actually, did he TP bot or did he get cancelled?
He TP'd bot, I do believe. We'll have to try and see if we can get a replay of that, but the Baron has been started. This is a 22-minute Baron. Big still have some ultimates available to them. They still have some flashes available to them as well. Donard's key has no smite, though. Donards cannot steal this, and you can see right now they're just looking for the fight. They're going to try and get the Denik down, but Denik has got some great kiting as White Knight goes in with the slicing maelstrom. They're trying to just kill everyone off. Carzzy's just trying to free hit, but so is Deadly, and Giants get the Baron. Giants get the fight, and Giants get everything.
Yeah, they get the Baron, which is a critical thing, but they also win the fight. Melitza huge there, using the pockets of vision, and actually White Knight might have found him, but he's not going to mess with the Kiana. Melitza is so good in these team fights, consistently finding opportunities to do so much damage, and even without the ult there, monstrous. Giants are rewarding heavily, and as we saw Big try to claw back the mid-game, Giants take control once again.
I feel like Giants made that call knowing that Donards did not have smite. They must have seen him use the challenging smite in that skirmish up in the top side. Said, we have 45 seconds where he has no way of dealing with this. The call was clean. Giants take control. Overall, if every other game in this series is like this, I'm a happy man.
Yeah, absolutely. So much fighting, so much intense mechanics coming down to it. You see Melitza playing on the edge, where if he gets hit by a skill shot from Lavrov, he would go down, but he manages to find the windows. And I think it just shows this is the strength Giants have with the Antonio in the top lane. This tanky member means that they can go for things like the Baron without much risk. They can bait Big in and force the fights. Giants handily manage that, and now it's their time to take objective, take structures. They have the Baron buff for another 2 minutes. They're looking towards this mid lane tower. Big, they can try and defend, but it would be a difficult ask.
It is an outer mid, but There is a lot of good wave clear now that you have the Guinsoo's Wraithblade and the Mermana finished up for Karzi's Kai'Sa. Cocoon goes in and misses wide. And they're just trying to protect this cannon minion to try and chip down this turret. You can see Melitza hovering, hunting on the side there, waiting for a moment to just try and go in and blow everybody up on the side of Big.
Yeah, and he's so powerful in the jungle. You've seen Qiyana just do massive ultimates as it ripples around the walls, and that's why he's trying to find these positions where if he gets a big one, it can stun multiple members. But now, they've forced Big under this inner tower. Melitza's going to catch the wave on the bot side, and all of Giants are going to transition over.
Get the mid lane turret, back up, reset, establish vision control. Get down to the bot lane, push in that wave, and you can see with a minute 13 left on this Baron buff, Giants want to get at least one more tower, open up that map a little bit more if they can.
Yeah, but the Antonio's mid's a big, feeling confident here. Are starting to move up, but they know how close the Sion will feel. He can ult over. He has the Ghost as well from Spellbook. They can't start a fight and expect him not to be able to join.
Antonio being the thorn in the side of Big so far in this split push with the Baron buff. You can see they're just kind of moving him around. As Karzi is down! Karzi gets deleted, and now Zazie has to try and back himself away. Just trying to run around now to get the unstoppable onslaught. They try to jump in. It is going to be the hook to get him out. Donards gets him out with the Q as well, but Lavrov has been caught, and Giants take 2 kills, the turret, and they're going to keep pushing.
And Big just aren't respecting the pick potential. If Cocoon lands, if the root from Melitza comes in, you will go down. Karzi goes down, Lavrov goes down. This bot lane we praise so much, and now Giants, we said they wanted the turret, they're gonna get an inhibitor.
They crack open the base of Big. Giants looking so strong in this first game, but Big have avenues back in. You've got 3 items and Sork shoes onto your cannon. If you're able to get a flank, it looks like they're looking for a bit of a whiff there onto the Glacial Prison. They're trying to just jump onto the Sion. They're trying to put down as much damage as they possibly can. Looks like the Antonio will be the sacrificial lamb. Goes into zombie form, and they get 1 little kill back, but they lose so much.
Yeah, and the Antonio is the sacrifice. Melitza had already gone for the recall. They end up having to give him up. They cannot fight without that critical carry, but now they're looking for the dragon, and Big are wanting to contest this.
Giants get in, get out, get the objective. That's now double mountain, which is going to lead to our 3rd Infernal of the game. I love finals RNG, but let's see how this fight goes on. Like you said, it catches the Cocoon, dead.
Yeah, just the instant burst potential follow-up from Melitza, and even Deadly pops that ult for the extra AD. And then the Antonio comes in with the ult, the knock-up lands, and the follow-up is just so much damage. And as much as Lavrov may feel tanking this Nautilus, it does not compare to 5 members of Giants. And both of the members of the bot lane get caught out. Giants looking so on form right now.
Giants just really pushing themselves to kind of get themselves, but we can see a lot of, pretty key items being picked up here. The Zhonya's, the Frozen Heart on the side of Giants. You've also got the triple, armor penetration, or lethality, excuse me, on the Qiyana. She's going to blow up pretty much anybody.
And that's what we're seeing. We have the triple lethality, so much burst damage coming in from Melitza. And he just cut through all the squishies on the side of Big, and even Don Arts tends to feel squishy when compared to the amount of damage available to this Qiyana. And we've now seen a Phantom Dancer picked up by Deadly. So not only does he have a ton of attack speed, a ton of on-hit, he has that shield to help keep him alive. He's in a really comfortable position, and honestly, at the moment, we hyped up this Vayne and said he needs to be the person to protect. Melitza's doing so much work. They are still a double threat team.
I was just about to say, as Melitza has kind of said, the Vayne was kind of a red herring. I'm the actual carry of this team. You can see, without real any vision, they flash over with the Sion. They're going to jump in and delete Karzi again. Another great pick for Giants, and they're looking to crack open the mid lane.
A great pick to take down Karzi. Wasn't able to even use his flasher roll, and now they're looking to push. It's a 4v5. Big to defend.
Big have to try and defend this one here. They go in, they get the ultimate there with the Qiyana. Melitza just deletes Zazie. Now you have no damage, and Giants may look to end the game here.
Yeah, they're looking for the push. They don't have the Baron, but they have 5 members strong. The 2 big carries down for Big. It's up to White now in their ult, and I think they have to respect that. But if you look on that mini-map, Baron is coming up soon, and Giants with double mountain are heading straight towards it.
And again, we're seeing Karzi getting caught out, not using his flash, not respecting the fact that once you're caught, you're dead effectively. Goes down quicker than he can even react to anything, and Giants just capitalizing so many times now.
And it's just great team play. They know what to look for. They know the opportunities to find, and they end up shutting down Karzi back-to-back almost off these picks. Giants are rewarded with a second Baron, and with 2 inhibitors already down, things are looking dire for Big.
Big need Big need a play. Big need a carry to step up, and they need to find somebody. Well, let's see. This is literally just a fantastic flash over the wall from Antonio and just catch them out with the cocoon.
Yeah, and I feel like Carzzy wasn't ready for this. He looked to outplay with mobility, and in the end, the ult just knocks him up. He goes down after that. You had to use your flash in that situation. He didn't respect the engage, and then the fight here, you can see Zazzy trying using the flash to get away, but Melitza is so strong. There is no escaping that damage. Giants in a really strong position, and the big thing I would be looking for is a flank from White Knight to secure this game, but he actually burned his TP. I think it was just to catch a wave, actually. And now he doesn't have that tool to try and find the fight. But you can see Big, they're looking to position. They know they have to take a fight as soon as possible, or the super minions will become a massive issue.
Pitcher control very much belonging to Giants. Big have an inkling as to where the Antonio is. Carzzy and Zazzy are not here, and I do not feel like your last stand is going to be at a tier 2 tower. You want to wait for the inhibitor, so they're going to try and delay this Baron as much as they can, but they're not going to try and fully defend here.
The Giants are happy just to wait. They know the super minions. You can see them already pushing in the base mid. More coming bot side. The timer is on their side, and Big already have to back off to handle the waves. Giants continue their push.
Have to make a call, Big. You have to figure out where you want to defend. You got to figure out if you want to defend here at your Nexus turrets, and if you lose everything else, mightn't even be worth it to defend at the Nexus. The inhibitor turret is going to fly down, but White Knight is here. White Knight gets 4 men. They get Deadly. They get Melitza. There's no damage, and Big find the play. Big take everyone on Giants down, and Big are still in this game.
And we've been waiting for it all game. Finally, the flank from White Knight that we needed, that Big needed, and at the perfect time, they're able to defend their base, they're able to stop their push, and White Knight steps up for his team.
White Knight, you talked about the importance of Kennen's flash. He literally could not do anything until he was able to flash onto that backside, and once Melitza and Deadly are down, there is no damage for the side of Giants. Yes, they've got Razor, but that's just front-loaded burst. After that, you have nothing. They crumble, fall like dominoes, and this is just a fantastic move from White Knight.
I mean, I can't even just describe this. Just watch White Knight, watch what he does. That's all I've got to say here. Huge ult, just stunning up everyone.
This is the power that you have with this composition that Big have created for themselves. This is the first time we've seen them, like you said, the Deadly kind of combo as such, but gonna hold my point just very quickly. The Infernal does go down, so it's double Infernal. There's the unstoppable onslaught as the Antonio is gonna jump in, but he will be shredded pretty damn quickly. He's trying to use Deadly as a little bit of a deterrent. Zazzy is still there. The Antonio just wants to stop them though from getting back into the base because they know they can't defend it.
Inhibitor has respawned on the bot side though, so less pressure on Big now. And this Baron, 30 seconds left. It's only the Antonio with the buff available. I mean, Giants can try and make a push here, but they aren't going to get enough to crack the base to end their game. They've missed out on the end we were looking for of the second Baron, and Big, they're going to try and defend. Actually, I think they want this bot lane inhibitor, but Big, they're feeling confident. They will look to answer this fight.
Big have their ultimates available, but you do not have flash on a lot of your key carries. I feel like they leave this one, let it go, and back themselves away. They're still in this game. Baron buff is just worn off. Elder Drake is now very much on the cards. The next Baron buff, you're getting to those critical mass items now where the side of Giants will only get so tanky. They will only get so much damage, and it becomes more of a game of mechanics than it does about a game of advantages.
That's the big thing, is that Big have so many carries. You can be massive in these late game team fights. You have the AoE damage from White Knight, but you also have the sustain from Zazzy and Carzzy. Giants earlier on, they could take out both of them, but as we get later...
Deathbush. Oh, Deathbush not quite able to catch anybody out. Don Art's using his sixth sense of I should ward before I move anywhere further.
Yeah, definitely made the right decision there. A pick at this point in the game can be huge. It can completely decide this game one. 20 seconds on that mid lane inhibitor will release a lot of pressure towards Big, but the bot one's going to be down a while, and that means there will be more pressure onto that Baron. See Deadly leaving the base, having picked up that GA, also see one on Melitza, and I think Giants understand how reliant they are on these carries, so they have given those defensive angles towards them. They need them to be alive, even if the initial burst from White Knight can take them down once.
The response from the side of Big as well as those two stopwatches, very, very key onto Zazzy and Carzzy, as we can see them now pushing up into this mid lane. Big have only picked up one turret in this entire game, but it just feels so damn close. Yes, they're 5,500 gold behind, but it doesn't even feel that much anymore because we're getting so much later into this game.
And it's just them finding the right fight. Oh, engage comes in.
Another engage comes in. They're going to try and find as many people as they can. Labrov backs up. They have got the slicing Maelstrom to try and kill off everybody. They go gold in the sheath. They can keep themselves alive. Labrov is down. Deadly is still alive. Deadly is still trying to keep himself there. Carzzy's here. And Carzzy goes in with the killer instinct. Carzzy, you are the carry. You need to do this. He does not have enough though. And Deadly is the one who comes out with a double kill.
Yeah, Causey joined the fight late, tried to make the hero play, but there was just not enough damage. Deadly still alive, Melitza still alive. They didn't even lose their GAs, and now they're going to push up mid, but you have to respect Zazzy still alive, and Donots and White Knight are there to back up.
It's a 3v3. 2 GAs still available for Giants, though, and they look to try and just push in these super minions in the bot side. They've got 2 waves coming in. Big need to defend. They haven't got their wave cleared. Deadly trying to just tumble in to see if they can get this last Nexus turret down. Don Arts, it's on you to try and catch somebody out. White Knight also looking to try and see if he can catch someone. The second Nexus turret has fallen. They jump in, they flash onto Deadly. He's just kiting. He's just able to get all the damage down. But Labrov has joined back in onto this fight. Giants kiting beautifully on this fight as Melitza and Deadly are still on jolt. They jump in. They get Deadly down. He's got the GAs with Melitza. Now they look to try and catch them out just as they come off respawn.
Ozzy's here.
Deadly is down. Melitza is down. And Big will not die.
Giants get overconfident and they do not respect Zazzy. The Yasuo comes up huge. He dashes about and he finds the windows. The ult shutting down Deadly was massive, and Big are not giving up this game yet.
I don't think I can survive a best of 5.
Not if it goes to 5 games, but we're going to have to.
My God, Big. Every single time we think they're down, they find a play. They find themselves in a fantastic situation to just kind of 100% bring them back in. Now with the Baron spawning, everyone in terms of carries on the side of Giants dead. It's up to Razor to stop this. He's got some pretty decent damage. Labrov does not find him, though. He goes up in the repel. The TP is coming in onto the Baron as well. They jump straight in. There is the Zhonya's pop there as Labrov nearly goes down, but neither does Carzzy. They eventually take down the Elites and the Braum. They are losing their top side, though, to those minions. They cannot risk this Baron. They do not have the health bars.
But they do shut down 2 members of Giants again, and that means consistently Giants are without their full force. It's given over more time to Big, and you can see the bot lane inhibitor has a minute left. It's buying time for that to respawn so they can start to test them up. They absolutely can. There's life steal's there from Deadly. He's picked up a Mikio Scimitar after selling his GA, but instead they're just going to clear up the vision, not want to risk a team fight when they are without 2 members of their team. Such a close match.
There are now 2 major objectives available on the map as I say that. The Antonio gets caught out, gets knocked up, hit the Steel Tempest in the last breath. They're just trying to chunk him down. He is so damn tanky, especially with the Gargoyle Stone Plate on him now as well. But the Baron is the call from the side of Big.
Yeah, Razor's only just respawned, so they're going to go towards him. In the response, Giants head straight towards the Elder Dragon. It's going to be a trade. I'll have to see which team comes out ahead. More pushing power for Big, but Giants will have the team fighting prowess with that true damage burn and with even more stats from that Infernal.
Neither side wants to give an inch. Trading, not willing to make the mistake to fight at one objective and potentially throw away the game. We're now hitting 4, 5 items, 6 items on a lot of these carries. It's going to be down to a pure mechanics 5v5.
Absolutely, and we have such great champions for it. We have the likes of the Yasuo, we have the Kai'Sa, we have the Vayne, the Qiyana for Melitza, and these are champions with so much skill expression. But we are looking towards White Knight. White Knight, he has his flash up. He's on that cannon. It could all come down to him for this next team fight.
I look at Big, I look at White Knight. He's the man who needs to be stepping up for his team. I look at Giants, I'm looking at Deadly. If he gets caught and if he gets taken down, Giants are going to be in a very, very poor position. However, having traded the Baron for the Elder Drake, you can see Big, they're happy enough in their base. They can use those Barons to push them out and get them out of this turtle.
And the big thing is the Dragon lasts less time than the Baron buff, so Big are happy just to wait this one out. Giants are the ones who need to force while they have this buff available to them because it will time out quicker than Big's Baron. A lot of poke coming out from Carzzy at this point. The Kai'Sa able to chunk people out pretty effectively. Giants, unwavering though, are looking to push up.
Got 2 super minions in that mid lane, but Zazzy now with that IE, with that Phantom Dancer, the Sterex gauge as well, he is just so damn good at clearing these waves. I honestly don't think Giants can go for this. They have to back away.
Yeah, they have to respect that they can't make the push work without the Baron. They have the Elder Dragon, which buys them time, but at the end of it, it will go down sooner. They back off before they give an opportunity to Big, and now Big are able to push out their base. 40 seconds on that last inhibitor. They have no turrets left at all, but they will have their inhibitors up. And it means the super minion waves will not be pushing in. It allows them to leave the base and possibly make use of this Baron buff where they have a minute and a half left.
Deadly already sold his GA and swapped it out for a Mercurial Scimitar, so didn't feel the value in that one, unfortunately, when he was not able to end the game, but has got that little bit of extra protection. Now we see the Zhonya's finished up here for Carzzy, so he's going to be, again, another harder target as soon as he gets that depth cap as well. His poke is going to be absolutely insane. There are 30 seconds left on this Dragon buff, about a minute left on the Baron buff. And both sides are at an impasse. It is a 2,000 gold lead. That means nothing. It is 11 turrets to 1. Big have no turrets. They have nothing. They've got inhibitors in their base. That is it.
But at least they have the inhibitors back. So
At
that's
least
something.
Yes, they do. And their Nexus is still alive. But no
looking to
vision in this
push.
mid lane. Need to be very careful. White Knight and Zazzy coming up the side of this one here. You can see they may be looking for the Antonio on the back side of this. The Antonio is off to the left. Melita off to the right. They're looking to see if they can bait somebody in. Not able to catch anything out just yet. The Dragon buff has respawned. They get the flash out of Razor. They get the flash out of Zazzy.
What goes up must come down.
What goes up must come down. They do land the Glacial Prison as they try to jump in on top of this fight. Now is here. This is where it's all going to come down as White Knight tries to jump in. He's trying to find Deadly, but he's not able to get him. And Deadly's free hitting Carzzy. It's going to be down to the AD carries as White Knight falls down. They're trying to reset this one here, but they do get the GA out of the Yasuo. Zazzy trying his best. Carzzy goes in with the Killer Instinct. Denik almost going down, and he will fall. Razor goes golden as they look to try and keep fighting this one. Deadly is down. The President has fallen, and the rest of these kills will just line up for Big. They will be able to take the kills. There's only one person left to defend.
And Big find the team fight. Carzzy comes up, shoot. They manage to take out Deadly. The Vayne is down. It's only the Antonio. And Big, they make the comeback, and they're looking to end.
Big with no turrets left, having lost every fight up until that one in their own base. They turn it around. It is down to D'Antonio. I don't think he can do it. And right now, what a game one. Big take the series lead, 1-0.